Aloha, Angels of Light. Welcome back to VanessaCastro.me YouTube channel. The burning question for this week is, what does it mean if I hear voices in my head? So this question has come up in a lot of private sessions and private emails. So I always ask, well, what are the voices saying? If the voices are saying to harm yourself or to harm another person, then we have to look at if you're receiving these messages because some sort of emotional trauma, physical trauma, sexual trauma, spiritual trauma. Either way, sometimes the voices are helpful. So sometimes you could hear voices that guide you, and this is called clairaudience, being able to receive intuition, information, sometimes in your mind, or you'll hear voices from afar that not everybody can hear. So that is called clairaudience, the ability to receive intuitive information through sound that not everybody can hear. So sometimes people have voices in their head because they've had trauma, and spirits without bodies are magnetized to them because they have pain, because they have fear. So the more pain or fear that someone has unprocessed can invite spirits without bodies to connect with them. Also, if someone has serious trauma and they lose their self-knowing, their self-confidence, their certainty, they can hear voices in their head of family members that still have bodies. I always recommend that when you hear voices in your head, you ask them to leave. You tell them to leave. If they do not leave, visualize them kind of going down a trap door to the center of the planet outside of your body. Getting yourself grounded. I made a video a couple weeks ago, and the burning question was, what is the first thing that I teach is getting grounded. The importance of getting grounded is to see what kind of information you're receiving, what is it being used for. Again, if you're hearing voices to harm yourself, to be aggressive or harm another person, then you might want to look a little bit deeper as to what in your life has caused this kind of energy, what kind of experiences, whether it was trauma, a car accident, bad parenting, a negative environment. There's a lot of different things. But then sometimes these voices are gifts. These gifts can be clairaudience, getting information as to how to keep yourself safe, where to go to meet the right contacts. You could hear messages as to what is your next step. You could get messages for other people, and that's a really beautiful gift that you can help others with. So clairaudience isn't something negative, but usually most people don't have the frame of reference or the teacher or the language to understand what's happening. So the other thing that could be happening for people that are hearing voices is they're very susceptible to telepathy. So whether it's like broadband telepathy, massive messages going out to lots of people that they're just receiving. They might hear voices, they might get thoughts that they know are not theirs, so that they might confuse for voices in their heads is this message of telepathy. There's also telepathy in narrowband telepathy. So with one-on-one, maybe somebody's sending you bad energy, bad vibes, bad intentions, and you are interpreting that in some sort of like audio experience where you're hearing the message to do something bad or something bad's going to happen to you. The piece of all of this that I feel is the most important is, how do we stop it, or how do we manage it? How do we make it useful? If it's something negative, we want it to stop. If it's something useful, we want to learn how to manage it and understand it. The best way is, in my perspective, in my theory, and the things that I teach in my classes and in my sessions is, you need to be the captain of your own ship. You need to be in charge of what's going on inside your mind. So telling these voices to stand outside of you, whether it's to create a visual in your mind of like a platform where these spirits, these voices can stand to give you information, give you a little distance of what information you're getting and what information is truly yours. If the thoughts are negative, to hurt yourself, to hurt someone else, definitely tell the energy to leave. I usually visualize that energy kind of being vacuumed up by the Creator's light, the energy of complete love, and removing and separating that energy from myself or my clients if that starts to come up. Again, I would always say it's not energy that's good or bad, it's just yours or not yours. Understanding how we attract these kind of spirits with or without bodies is dependent on how much love or how much fear we have in our body. Fear being related to things that we're worried about, or fear being pain that's been unprocessed from our past experience. So having voices in your head isn't always something negative. Sometimes it's a real gift. Listen to what the voices say. Again, if something is telling you to hurt yourself or to hurt another person, that is something you definitely want to stay away from. Always have your own certainty. Do not give up your certainty to another person or a spirit without a body. Mainstream media, movies, things of that nature, they tell you to be scared of spirits or scared of these voices, as if we are victim to that. But what I say is that's just Hollywood, that's just TV. You have a body, you have seniority, you are on this planet, so you have the right, the strength, the energy to tell these spirits that bother you or are nagging at you or harassing you to leave. So making certain that you understand your own personal power as to what you accept and what you reject is very important. The ability to distinguish voices that are useful and that are not useful requires you to be grounded in your body, knowing what your intentions are, what are you open to? Are you open to receiving messages to help others, to help yourself, to be a good steward of the community? Then you're going to get those kind of messages. If in your mind or in your being, you are always worried or reminiscing about something negative, or some sort of past trauma keeps cropping up and is bringing about negative emotions in you, those energies are going to magnetize more negative spirits to you. So processing that, letting that go, whether it's in a session with me or in a class, is very important to understanding how to attract things that are useful and how to set healthy boundaries with things that are not of service to you, that are grounded in pain versus grounded in light, grounded in love, which is going to be the most supportive for you. So again, the 3 things and how to deal with those voices is, one is to ask them to step outside of you, to move out of your body so you can distinguish what is you and what is this other information. The second part for me is to set your intention as to who you are, what you want to be receptive to, and in that process is healing some of your past trauma, whether it's a session with me in a class or some sort of other practice that's going to bring more joy, more life into your being. But it's definitely something not to be afraid of, but to exercise your power and certainty of rejecting things that are not serving you and being more open and receptive to things that are taking care of you, supporting you, guiding you, that are very natural gifts that just most people don't have language for, don't have teachers for. I do teach these things in my psychic boot camp because whether you have language for it or not, it's happening possibly to you or at least around you. And so to have a better language and understanding of how to manage that, I feel is important and empowering for everybody. So I hope this helps you. I hope it helps you to get more clear as to what kind of communications you're receiving, what to do with those communications, and how to make them beneficial for you. If you'd like more information, I hope you take my classes, but in the meantime, please take care of yourself. Check out my other videos to have a basic way of settling yourself, healing yourself. Check out the video of what's the first thing that I teach. I hope this has been helpful for you. Have a great week. I look forward to seeing you again. Aloha for now.